Okay, here we go. Breaking Through, a sequel to the book The Circuit and predecessor to Reaching Out, a series of books written by this gentleman describing what his life was like growing up. But let's focus on breaking through. The book starts out by telling us that Francisco and his family are illegal immigrants from Mexico and are unfortunately found by the Border Patrol, La Migra, and sent back to Mexico. But they work enough and are able to earn enough money to send Francisco and his eldest brother Roberto back to California and back to school. Once back, Roberto resumes high school at Santa Maria High, and Francisco returns to El Camino Junior High. While they both work in the fields trying to earn enough money to live and fix the house, they start anticipating the return of their family. As they wait, Francisco gains the nickname Frankie and convinces Roberto to go to dances held in the main hall of their town. There, Frankie makes a couple new friends, while Roberto makes some friends too. Unfortunately, as this period of time was filled with prejudice, the two boys were faced with judgment and resentment. But soon in early April, the family returns home from Mexico and back. With a happy family reunion, it returns to the way it had been before. Almost. Their father had returned to work in the fields, now owning part of a strawberry crop. While Frankie and Roberto worked with him, all went well until the crop started dying due to the excessive amount of pesticides sprayed on them. This darkened their father's mood and in turn affected them. Frankie graduated from El Camino and joined his brother at Santa Maria High. Summer was spent in the fields with strawberry fights and picking contests, while on weekdays Roberto and Frankie cleaned the elementary school in town. With a new haircut and cap, the summer came to a close, and Frankie's on his way to 9th grade in Santa Maria High. As Frankie is buzzing with energy, Roberto herds him towards his car and starts towards the school. With the introduction to the school and a meeting with his counselor, Mr. Kincaid, Frankie admits his wish to be a teacher, and soon enough he's on his way with a few changes to his schedule. And so his freshman year begins. With multiple bumps in the road, such as losing his PE shoes, not being able to practice typing at home, an athlete's foot, Frankie makes it to the fall. And as life does, more unexpected turns hit them, specifically being unable to pay rent on time or fully. As Frankie and Roberto walk to their truck, they find a man washing windows. And asking if he's hiring, they both get jobs working with/for him. Eventually, their boss hands over the full-time job to Frankie. Now that Frankie, Roberto, and their father all have jobs, their rent is fully paid and on time. Because English isn't Frankie's first language, typing in English was difficult, but thanks to a lawyer and Miss Bell, he was able to receive better grades in each. With an old typewriter given to him by the lawyer to use at home and the encouragement from his teacher, Miss Bell, he was able to practice and get better at English and typing. So remember how I mentioned people at this time had prejudice with their heritage? Well, it's back, and poor Roberto got his lovesick heart broken because of it. Summer returned, and it's the end of Frankie's sophomore year. Time flies pretty quick, huh? But anyway, Frankie's got his license to drive. But now that he can drive, he takes the job to clean the Western Union early in the morning. Now a proud junior in school, Mr. Kincaid gives Frankie the news that he made it in the Scholarship Federation, and with that, Frankie was on his way to becoming a teacher. As his junior year passed, he joined the Spanish club anticipating the Junior Scandals, a talent show thing, and ran for class president. But for every good, sometimes there's an awful. His father is injured and in the hospital. But hey, Roberto's in love again, and Frankie's a senior, but ill for a few weeks. Luckily, he recovers and makes it back in time to attend his local Rotary Club meeting, which he embarrasses himself. But even with these bumps in the road, Frankie manages to pull through and make it to the point of taking the SAT. He passes and turns in his applications to Santa Clara, a small college not far from home, and his applications for scholarships. And as the graduation day descends upon him, he receives the letter from Santa Clara with the great, amazing, spectacular, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious news. He's accepted. And in the end, everyone from mom to little Champita, they climb into Frankie's car for a final farewell of him going to college.